Hi, I'm Jim Gordon, your on-camera host for the Richmond Sentinel. It's time for another edition of Richmond Stories. Since 1867, millions of Canadians have proudly served our country, putting their lives on the line in harm's way. In 1899 to 1902, it was the South African War. 1914 to 1918, the First World War. From 1939 to 1945, the Second World War. 1950 to 1953, the Korean War. 1990 to 1991, the Gulf War. 2001 to 2014, Afghanistan. And most recently, as part of NATO, Ukraine. As a member of NATO, our Canadian forces are known around the world as peacekeepers, and on Canadian soil, their work in regional security, search and rescue missions, and natural disasters is also well known. Many tend to think of veterans as soldiers who fought in World War II. But the soldiers who served in Afghanistan are the new veterans.
And the young men cry, "Oh, Canada, we'll gladly go and fight for thee." And the young men cry, "Oh, Canada, we'll fight to keep you free."
Welcoming us and joining us here at the Army-Navy Air Force Unit 284 here in Steveston is William Spencer, President of the Army-Navy Air Force Unit 284. Thank you for having us here today.
Thank you.
You're kind enough to say I could call you Bill, which is great. Let's talk a bit about, right off the bat, a 76-year anniversary coming up, 1946?
Yeah, last August.
Tell our viewers about that special moment.
We were proud to be one of the Army units for the veterans here in Steveston.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, there was actually 20 years ago, there was actually two Army-Navy Air Force clubs here, but because of financial reasons, they had to close one down, 285. Right. So, but this being a nice building, we were able to survive and carry on with the veterans' legends of what they stood for.
It's you know, you talk about one having to close down. The last 2 years have certainly been challenging for everyone. Talk about how difficult the last 2 years have been for you guys, because you rely on patronage, as most businesses do. How have you come through the other end?
With the government support, we didn't get a whole lot of money, but it's a struggle to survive and support the community with what little you have. Mm-hmm. We opened our doors. We've been open to the public, but we're trying to get that message out to the public that you are welcome. Yeah. And a lot of people still think, and the younger generation doesn't know that you don't need to be military to come into this place. It's a great place for socializing. We have all kinds of different events: card games, pools, darts, music, live bands on Saturdays.
And we got to say, the biggest dance floor in Richmond. Am I right about that?
We do. Yeah, 25 by 28 feet.
Yeah.
We got line dancing coming in here, and it's growing. So
I think that's an important point to bring up, that there are people out there, and hopefully they see this, that might want to come in here. This is a very modern facility. There's no criticism of other gathering spots in this category, but it's very modern. But there are a lot of people out there that may want to come, but think, oh, I need a membership, or I need to be a veteran.
Yeah, we don't push membership, but it is a private club. You're more than welcome. Come in, check it out. The membership is only $50, and 32 of it goes to command.
Yeah.
We only get $18, or if we go more money, then we get more. But like I said, we just rely on them coming in all the time and supporting it that way. So.
I was saying to you before we went on camera that something else that our viewers may not know is the amount of charity work and the involvement you have in this community. You raise money. I'm looking at a figure recently of about $100,000 a year donated to charity sports programs. Tell our viewers, let's blow your horn a little bit here, if you don't mind, and talk about the great work you do within the community.
We have our meat draws on Fridays and Sundays, and
Very
you
popular.
mentioned, yeah, they've they do raise monies, and we do try to support Richmond first. But there are agencies like Heart and Stroke and Cancer that don't have an office in Richmond, so we still support those as well.
Right.
And every the Richmond Hospital, they're all very grateful for whatever we've done. So yeah.
And it's ongoing. You mentioned your what's the meat giveaway, whatever, meat draw, which is really popular. I've seen here. My folks enjoy coming here for that. But it's a constant, obviously, for anything. It's a constant evolving to keep up with the times. Where do you, Bill, as the guy that's driving the ship, so to speak, where do you see things going in the next 5 years? Because it's great that the veterans can find solace in a place like this in community, but the older veterans, it's just a fact of life. Each year, there's fewer and fewer.
We are trying to reach out to the younger ones, the ones that are aging out of cadets, and the ones that are coming back from the different conflicts.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, they don't feel comfortable going anywhere. They just keep to themselves. But then time has passed, and they come out of their shell, and
Yeah. But you, again, you're schooling me on a lot of this stuff that there's no road between, say, older veterans of previous wars in the past and police actions, what have you, and say the young vets that are coming home from Afghanistan. Is that something you guys are constantly trying to find ways to open up the dialogue? Because places like this do rely on the new generation of vets. It's sad to say we have vets in every generation, but talk a bit more about that.
Like the only stoppage now today would be the Privacy Act. Trying to get a hold of these veterans that are out there, and there's help for them, but they don't understand with the mental illness that they have, how to contact anyone, or even the clubs to get help.
Is there something for maybe somebody at home that wants to get involved that's watching this? Is it a matter of reaching out to your local MP or your
MP would be good.
Yeah, to say, I want to help. How can I get these younger people into this place where people like you are here?
Yeah.
Conversation, it's community. That's a good place to start.
It would be Veterans Affairs. They have an office downtown. Any social services are a good help now. We have got ourselves registered with them, and anyone looking for housing or looking for support, or even medical devices, hearing aids, and whatever, there's always someone to talk to, and so get that support there.
Let's talk a bit about your life and what your history. Talk a bit about how you became involved in service to one's country. Go back to 1973. I was out here in Vancouver. I joined the Navy Reserves here in Discovery at Stanley Park. Graduated from that, went into the regular Navy, and I wanted a trade of radar, sonar, and they told me 10 to 12 years. Well, to me at 18, that sounds like a lifetime. It does, yes.
I said, no, I'm not going to wait that long. So I quit. I went back home. My father wasn't feeling well, so I went back to Ontario and decided to join the Army. But they only had a 5-year term. Again, I wanted a career of either field engineer or something. And they said the only opening is infantry. So I said, okay, a couple of years you can transfer out. Well, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, no transfer. 5 years, I said, that's it, I'm done. And they paid for my move back to Vancouver. But I didn't realize at the time I'd signed the document saying I'm on call for the next conflict.
Oh, right.
So then Gulf War.
Yeah.
What was it? Gulf War, Kuwait, Iraq, Falkland Islands, and then Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And now here I am on call for Ukraine. And I'm the oldest living veteran, I guess you could say.
On call. At what point does that end? At a certain birthday or a certain amount of years?
If you're a fit body.
If you have fit body,
that's all.
Sure.
You would think there'd be an age limit, but someone at my age, I give blood every 2 weeks to every 2 months, depending on the situation. I have high platelets. I've got O negative, which I was told by the Canadian Blood Services I can't contact COVID. So,
oh wow,
yeah. And there's only 7% in the world, 3% in Canada that are O negative. And so like I said, I'm I'm always fast on my feet.
You know what? It's good to hear because we are guilty at times of being an ageist, kind of prejudiced society, right? And what you can bring to the table is invaluable to, say, those new soldiers that are going off into harm's way. How long have you been here?
In BC?
No, in where we are right now.
10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
And again, a lot of changes. Like as I said, you've got to evolve with the time. So music, live music, as I said before, a very large dance floor. And other events. Any last words you want to say to our viewers out there about getting them to come in? I think one of the great things you said is that it's a welcoming society for anybody who wants to come in, not just vets.
Right. Yeah. No. It is open to the public. We are also looking for volunteers because the place, is basically run on volunteers.
Yeah.
The only paid staff is the cook and the bar staff. So if anything gets done in the events, it's all strictly volunteers. So we're always looking for support that way as well. It's not hard work. It's fun. And
I feel pretty good about it doing with the cause you're assisting with. It's William Spencer, President of the Army Navy Air Force Unit 284 here in Steveston. Come check this place out. I'm very impressed with the modern look and feel of this place, and I also had a pretty good meal before we went on camera as well. So come check that out. Bill, thank you very much for having us here, and we wish you continued success moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. It's another Richmond story here in Steveston.
If it must be so, I'll die for thee. And the soldier cries, "Oh Canada, I'll die to keep you